Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Health360. This week we're going to be telling you all about the battle against the bulge. We're talking about weight loss and why it is different from fat loss, eating disorders and what do they really mean? What does it mean for somebody to have an eating disorder? How do you recognize that? Also, our body's circadian rhythm and our food habits around it. That and much more up ahead on the show. I'm Sneha Mordani and this is our battle against the bulge. A lot of us have a very negative sort of a relationship with our food. What really happens is that in a fight against excessive fat, we end up developing a negative equation with food. That's what leads to eating disorders. Often it goes unnoticed. Our next report is going to give you an idea about what these disorders are. How do you identify them and how do you help your loved ones if you suspect that they have any of these disorders?
Successful, popular and rich. This is what we think of these men and women. What we do not know is the battle they have fought against health disorders, particularly eating disorder that all of them have spoken about, sharing their personal struggles.
I just love food so much, like Japanese food, like room service. My choice indulgence is like a great burger. I need donuts. I need donuts on the burger. No, I don't do that. But I love donuts. Like all hours of the day, donuts.
Look around you. A lot of people have a very unhealthy relationship with their food. And a lot of these problems have worsened in a world fixated with a certain body type. With young girls and boys seeking validation on social media, filters that put a veil on your imperfections and worsen your insecurities.
We also have to realize that the way we look is not who we are. Who we are is, it's not an indicator of our accomplishments. It is just how we look. Looks keep changing over a period of time. However, yes, it's important to be fit. It is important to be functional, and that's what we should be aiming for. If we constantly find ourselves feeling very low because of our body weight, or feeling very, constantly calorie counting or checking our weight from time to time, restricting our food intake, having a very unhealthy relationship with food, then probably, there is something off over here. We are developing a mental health issue which needs to be addressed.
A recent study says that eating disorders among teenager girls in the United Kingdom skyrocketed during the pandemic. Possible triggers include isolation, lack of structure, and heightened anxiety. The new study published in the Lancet Child and Adolescent Health Journal found that since March 2020, eating disorders such as anorexia, nervosa, or bulimia were 42% higher than would be expected for teenage girls aged 13 to 16. And 32% higher for those aged 17 to 19. Male eating disorders are also on the rise, and research indicates it is linked to pornography. A new paper published in the journal Body Image highlights the link between problematic pornography use and eating disorder symptoms among young men. Bulimia is a serious, potentially life-threatening eating disorder. People with bulimia may secretly binge, eating large amounts of food with a loss of control over the eating, and then purge, trying to get rid of that extra calories in an unhealthy way like inducing vomit or consuming laxatives. Anorexia is an eating disorder characterized by an abnormally low body weight, an intense fear of gaining weight, and a distorted perception of weight. People with binge eating disorder regularly eat too much food and feel a lack of control over their eating. They may eat quickly or eat more food than intended even when not hungry, and may continue eating even long after they are uncomfortably full. So why do people develop eating disorders?
Before you talk about eating disorder, there's an initial phase to it which is called emotional eating. And I think we relate to food very closely. All our emotions are related to food. Whether you have a festival, whether it is a function in the family, whether you are sad, whether you are stressed, whether you are happy, food plays a very integral part. So I think it's very natural for people to be in that phase of emotional eating. It's about the emotions that we, share with food. But there are times like, for example, stress eating, or eating when you are sad, or persistently where you are going to form that emotional eating as a pattern, which becomes a necessity at times. So if that pattern continues over a period of time, is where someone would land up getting an eating disorder.
Experts say that eating disorders are complex, associated with significant disturbances in an individual eating behaviors and related thoughts, emotions and attitude. Acknowledgement and dealing with the problem at hand is the hour. Look out for telltale signs, say experts.
Social stigma, or what people will think, what and whenever you say an eating disorder, or even going to a psychologist, they say, "Arey, pagal ho gaya hai kya?" I mean, are you mad or are you crazy? We at times can become very judgmental. So this is, I think, one reason why people would want to hide, if at all they are going through any issues with their eating, or with their emotional eating or whatever. So there is definitely a big stigma attached to it. And your social factors, your environment, the people with whom you are, mostly maybe, sitting with them or talking to them. So there is definitely a stigma which is attached to this.
These are the things that we must ensure. Help distinguish between physical and emotional hunger. Activities like yoga, meditation can help. Keep your meals on track. Stop starving yourself. Eliminate feed that leads to body negativity. With Sneha Mordani, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, there are several other eating disorders that you and I may actually not be familiar with. One is pica. Do you actually feel the need to eat a chalk, a piece of chalk, or an eraser, or paint, or your hair, for example? All of these non-nutritive substances which you actually want to eat. It is actually associated with nutritional deficiency, and these are the deficiencies that we are referring to.
Deficiencies in iron, calcium, zinc and other nutrients like thiamine, niacin and vitamin C and D have been associated with pica.
Circadian rhythms are 24-hour cycles in each person's body. Simply put, it's the body clock. We all need to understand and respect our body clock. More so when we're trying to deal with excessive fat and trying to lose that fat and develop great food habits. Our report is going to give you an idea about circadian rhythm and also circadian rhythm fasting, which has become extremely popular. Take a look.
It's often said that a rhythm is the essence of nature. The sun rising and setting almost at the same time is a rhythm. Eating along with the rise of the sun and before the sun is down is the rhythm that our body can adapt to and does wonders for our health. Jain scriptures talk about eating before sundown. The sun cycle diet, when you eat when the sun is up and stop eating when the sun is down, is called the Circadian diet. So why is it a good diet to follow?
The circadian rhythm is a 24-hour internal body clock in humans. Your body functions best when it is in sync with the sun. And what I mean is, you start eating when the sun is up and stop eating when the sun is down. Your cortisol is highest in the early hours of the day, which gets your metabolism up and running. It's the best time for digestion. Whereas melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, does the exact opposite. It puts you to sleep. Let me take you through why when you eat is as important as what you eat.
The surges and dips in cortisol and melatonin correspond with sunrise and sunset. Cortisol rises in the earlier hours of the day, which gets the metabolism up and running. Whereas melatonin, which is the sleep hormone released as we move towards night, does the exact opposite.
So circadian rhythm means we follow the sun cycle. The sun rises, the sun sets. Okay, the body wakes up, the body goes to sleep. If you go back, let's say more than 200 years ago, there was no electricity. So we obviously all rose with the sun and went to bed with the sun. This has changed with the advent of electricity. So the circadian rhythms now are getting a little bit changed because we can stay awake the whole night also, and that affects our health.
Food intake during circadian evening, when the melatonin is higher than cortisol in your body, disrupts this rhythm, thereby increasing fat content in your body as food will not be metabolized properly. As you move towards night, the tendency to store calories as fat is higher. During the day, cortisol is highest, stimulating metabolism.
As you move towards the night, you begin to release more melatonin. And when you eat with melatonin as a condition, the body is more sluggish. The tendency to store most of that calories as fat is higher. Whereas if we eat during the day, when cortisol, which is highest in the morning, stimulates the thyroid to activate metabolism, then eating during the day really works. In fact, I tell all people, don't drink coffee for the first 2 hours when you wake up. That's my secret as Ryan Fernando. Wait for 2 hours. Then your caffeine spike will hold you through the entire day. If you do it too early, you will have a crash by 1-2.
Food consumption at night also leads to insulin, which often leads to diabetes. So what are the rules of this diet? Eat early, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or at least 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Breakfast should be the heaviest meal and dinner the lightest. Divide the calories into 3 meals and 2 snacks. Each meal must contain healthy proteins, whole grains, lots of vegetables and adequate dairy. 2 to 3 fruits per day and a handful of nuts will ensure a diet that brings a lot of protection. Who can practice this diet? Health individuals of all age groups can practice the CR fasting. The best results are seen when the practice starts from a young age. Who shouldn't go on this diet? Pregnant women, those under medication, diabetics, and those who have undergone a surgery in the recent past must consult a dietitian before starting CR fasting. This diet also does wonders for your sleep pattern and mental health as it does to niggling unhealthy weight issues. One of the main deterrents to having a good sleep cycle is alcohol. Alcohol disrupts sleep. With Anaga Keshav, Bureau Report, India Today.
All of us get hunger pangs, midnight hunger pangs, mid-meal hunger pangs. So why do we get these pangs? And how do we deal with them effectively and in a healthy fashion without compromising on our taste? You don't have to always open a bag of chips. There are healthy and tastier ways of dealing with these hunger pangs.
Hunger pangs, anger pangs, or hanger pangs are not exactly rocket science to figure.
Let's face it, all of us have found ourselves staring into the insides of a well-lit refrigerator in the middle of the night in an otherwise dark house. Midnight hunger pangs are a part of our daily lives, and what we usually feast on are these chips or this ice cream, which is not considered healthy. But midnight snacking need not be an unhealthy affair. There are so many options to consider once you think about it.
From salty chips to sugary ice cream cones, the taste of junk food can be oh so tempting. But there are options, and a lot of options, for dead of the night snacking that do not add the burden of dead weight across your waist. But have you ever wondered what's causing these late night hunger pangs? Well, food cravings have been linked to deficiencies in the body. The seemingly harmless need for that one bite of tasty snack could actually be alarm bells that your body is ringing in a bid to tell you that something is amiss. Nutritionists believe that cravings are linked to deficiencies in the body, and the type of food you just have to eat right now points exactly to what your body thinks it is deprived of. For example, People who can't give up on sweets because I have a sweet tooth may actually be suffering from magnesium deficiency. Magnesium helps convert food to energy in our body. So how often should one get tested for nutrition deficiencies? And are any age groups more vulnerable to nutrition deficiencies? It is actually a myth that healthy food isn't tasty. It might not give you that insane dopamine fix, but a lot of these healthy food items, like fox nuts for example, are very tasty alternatives to the junk we crave for. In case you're feeling that you've got to eat something sweet right now, then you may be experiencing fluctuations in your blood sugar level. And this may be symptomatic of having low fiber or protein in your diet. But do not worry. We here at Health360 have you covered and will provide you with some easy to make snacks for your midnight cravings. First, we have bananas with unsweetened peanut butter. This will take care of your protein needs. Second, a desi favorite, almond milk with walnut, with soaked walnut and a date. This is a rich source of fat, magnesium and protein. And last but not the least, desi classic curd along with berries and kishmish or raisins. This will help with your blood sugar balance and is a good source of protein. These snacks and drinks use ingredients that you'll easily find at your home and will help not only satiate your immediate hunger pang, but also the greater deficiency behind it. With Dhruv Yadav, Bureau Report, India Today.
I need to lose weight. Have you heard this often enough? Or have you been telling this to yourself and to others? What do you actually need to lose? Are you referring to kilograms on a weighing scale? Or are you aiming at toning up and losing the excess fat in your body? There's a difference and we're going to be telling you all about it.
Jumping on a weighing machine, each time, do you feel bloated or fat? I felt the same until some time ago when I realized that the number on the scale is only worthy of worry if you have extra fat or excess weight gain, which means if you don't have extra fat and you are healthy, you don't need to worry.
Which means that if you are healthy and do not have excess fat, some weight gain is not something to lose sleep over. More than often, you would hear people stressing about gaining extra kilograms and happy if they lose these kilos. Fat gain has become synonymous with weight gain, but they are not the same things. Weight loss refers to a reduction in your overall body weight, including muscle, water, and fat loss. As far as fat loss is concerned, it refers to weight loss from the body fat. Simply put, it refers to the overall drop in the overall kilogram weight. There are a number of things that can affect weight fluctuation on a daily basis, such as hormonal imbalance, varying sodium intake, different amounts of dietary fiber and food. Fat loss refers to weight loss from the fat, and it is more specific and healthful goal than weight loss. In fact, fat loss consists of losing weight while maintaining as much muscle mass as possible, which will allow you to look more toned and get that fit look. So if simply put, fat loss is equal to reduction or burning of the stored body weight. What is the difference between weight loss and fat loss?
Weight loss is basically a complete overall reduction of the weight. In this, you are not aware of it, like what sort of weight reduction has been happening. For example, if it is weight, your water loss or muscle loss or fat loss. Whereas in fat loss, you are actually targeting the excess fat that one has inside the body. So generally, fat loss is recommended for people who are obese or overweight or who have a BMI more than 30. So fat loss would be better for them.
So what should you aim for? What is healthy? Fat loss or weight loss? Weight loss can be on the top of your goal, but for a healthier body composition, fat loss is the one you should be aiming for. Aiming to achieve fat loss could also help get rid of excess fat, which is potentially dangerous, but also maintains a lean tissue growth. Muscle tissues additionally also help provide strength, agility, and burn more calories even at rest. Fat loss reduction could also aim at minimizing visceral fat levels in the body, which is the most harmful kind of fat. Relying on a weighing scale alone may not work as an accurate detector of how much fat you are really losing or determine the muscle mass you have. However, using a more accurate means of detection, such as a body fat scale.
See, there are two type of things. There's one fat scale and there's one weight scale. So what happens in weight scale is like everybody has weight scale at their home. They can check their weight and you can have an idea. You can monitor it on daily basis. But what happens with fat scale is it is not easily available, and for the overall population it is not even cost effective, to be very honest. Fat scale would be recommended to people who are on obese side, who actually requires, who should identify where is their fat being stored, and they can target that particular area so that it helps them to reduce that, and it doesn't, they'll be able to reduce the risk of severe diseases as well. So it's better to use a weight scale generally, but if you are on a risk factor, then fat scale would be recommended.
Make sure to consult a doctor before you go ahead with any hardcore exercise regime or a strict diet plan. With Sabah Ikram, Bureau Report, India Today.
Are you one of those who thinks that drinking juice from a canned pack is actually healthy, or protein bars loaded with sugar are healthy? Probiotic drinks containing sugar are actually good for you. We are going to be telling you all about food products that are sold as healthy but are actually very unhealthy. We're also going to be telling you what the healthy alternatives are in our next report.
You must have seen people around you ditching cakes, sugar, pizzas, and switching to healthier options such as protein bars, yogurts, salads when they are on a weight loss mission. We often switch from junk to a healthier food item, thinking that they might help us in weight loss journey and will lead to a healthy life. From energy drinks to baked chips, there are a plethora of products in the market that are touted as healthy. But not everything that comes with the healthy tag is good for your body. Here are some so-called healthy food items that you are indulging in. Having plain yogurt might be normal when you're on a diet. We sometimes choose flavored yogurts which have very
are not healthy, because when you are putting a flavor into something, you are adding some stabilizer, some molecule into it. And when you are on a diet, so diet usually will be low, it will bring down your pH to low, your alkaline, your acidity in your body. So what will happen if you take any some chemical, some stabilizers, so it will react in a different way. You have some digestion issues. Because of that, your flavored yogurts we don't suggest to the people. Instead of flavored yogurts, go with the traditional yogurts which are available, and you can prepare yogurt at home also with the milk. That is way better than the
Salads are one of the most healthiest food items that one can opt for if you are on a diet. But some of us often go for a packet salad bowl instead of a fresh bowl of salad. But did you know that these packet salad bowls are high on fat and sodium, which can affect your body in a reverse way? So next time you are on a diet, go for a fresh salad bowl instead of a packaged one.
Vegetable oils such as canola, sunflower, soya bean are often labeled as heart healthy. But the truth is that they are the #1 cause of health problems, as they are highly refined and rich in omega-6 that causes accelerated growth of cancer cells, blood clotting and increased inflammation in the body. When we are on a weight loss journey, we instantly pull a product from the shelf if it has the low fat tag. But by doing this, we are indirectly reaching out for the unhealthy option. According to nutritionists, food manufacturers tend to replace the fat with sugar in such low fat products to make it taste good. With Aishwarya Radhakrishnan, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, that's a wrap from Team Health360. You can catch our detailed reports, also our shorter versions, our reels and our shorts on all of India Today's social media platforms. That's YouTube, also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. For our detailed reports, you can also log on to indiatoday.in and download the India Today app. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.